Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video. And this one I'm not very excited about. I am in retrospect, but sitting here looking at it, I know it's going to take a long time and that I'm going to not like editing it. So, if you haven't read the title and if you haven't got an idea of what everything over here may mean, you're going to be asking, tier list, what is this video about? Well, which tunes are banned from the BlushCrunch Discord server? Now, if you don't know what BlushCrunch is, it is the official Discord server for the team behind Dandy's World and like Flavor Frenzy. Yeah, basically a fan server. And they're very infamous for being very strict. I think it's funny. They actually have a whole rule board for shipping, and some of these are quite ridiculous. Like you see here, no Toon OC, X-Toon, no mirror shipping, no inanimate objects like Objectum. It's just very strict, and it feels very restricting for no reason. So I thought it would be funny to ban all of their beloved tunes from their own Discord server. This is going to take a while, but we're going to get into it, okay? And as usual, we're going to go alphabetically, which means just everyone in order, okay? I'm not gonna go into everything here. Actually, no, I lied. I'm going to go into everything here. So we have not speaking English, talking about drama, doxing, hacking, scamming, advertising, venting, swearing, hateful language, slur usage, it's like being homophobic, racist, or anything like that, spamming, anything art related and or AI usage, rage bait or trolling, inappropriate content, or the tunes that have simply been banned for everything. Let's get into it. First off, starting with Astro. Now, I believe he would have been banned for venting because, you know, he's a pretty sad guy, and I think, you know, he'd have a bad day and he'd go into the Discord server looking for some support, maybe a friend, to have a shoulder to cry on. He just gets straight up ban-hammered for talking about his day. No mercy whatsoever. The stakes are high in the server. Moving on, Bassie. She would probably get... Oh, hold on. I've left out something. I have no idea how I forgot out the most important rule of the entire list, and that is anything ship related, because this server seems to be very prominent about that, as I showed you like 2 seconds ago. Anyway, Bassie, I feel like she would be banned for like something about a ship. Maybe she has a ship that nobody liked and they were like dogpiled her for it, and she got banned for having the worst ship possible. Or maybe she made some ship art that wasn't really appropriate, maybe a little bit suggestive, but that still falls into anything ship related. Moving on, Blot. I think he would get, you know, I think he would get banned for like rage bait or something like that, because the way he talks backwards, maybe that could be like interpreted. Actually, I'm changing my answer. The way he talks backwards would be not speaking English, because no one could understand what he was saying. Even though he is speaking English technically, but it's just all backwards. And yeah, he'd get banned for that because he's not talking right. I say not talking right because this dude takes the time out of his day to type backwards. I wouldn't ban him like that. That's a lot of effort, you know. I respect the grind block. Moving on, Bobette. I think she would get banned for advertising. Like, you know how she has that Christmas thing going on? I think she'd be banned for advertising that. She'd come into the server and say stuff like, "Hey guys, come to my Christmas bash on the 23rd of December. Everyone's coming. You should all come too. It's free. Free entry. No one needs to pay." And they would just smack her in the head with a bar and hammer. You know, I think that's ruthless. How could you do that to Bobette? She's just trying to have fun. Moving on, Boxton. I think he would be banned for... Oh, this one's a difficult one. I think he would be banned for spamming, and let me tell you why. Because he's like a music box, right? Do you know there's people on Discord that like spams song lyrics and like it's a little bit corny, but he does it because he's like a music box, so he can't help it. It's like a second language to him. So like in the general chat he'd be spamming like Playboy Cardi lyrics and like everyone would get pissed off and like tell him to shut up. And he wouldn't because he's like he entered like flow state and he gets banned for like not listening to anyone. Moving on, Brightney. I think she'd get banned for talking about drama because she's like a librarian. And you know librarians always have like stuff to say. Like they're the most like gossipy people whatsoever. And I feel, you know what, I feel like she'd gossip. I feel like that's something she'd do. And she'd get banned for like gossip and stuff. She'd make up some crazy thing about like someone and just like you just spread misinformation. So she'd get banned for that. Moving on, Brusher. Obviously something art related, like she'd send some like crazy like experiment or and it'd be like totally interpreted wrong. And she'd get banned like straight away because like her freaky art, couture art is like way too much for everyone. She's like Prime Bjork, you know. She like scared everyone with her swagger and like they couldn't take it, so they just had to ban her. I think Cole would get banned for like being hateful. Not like straight up homophobic or anything. She'd just be like, God damn, you guys are so annoying. Like, you guys are really pissing me off. Like, you're being too loud. Like, oh my god, why are we talking about this? You guys are so stupid. And that's what I think. If she could type, I think she'd, like, not be nice about it. Moving on, Coco, I think she'd get banned for rage bait. I think she would, like, rage bait Bassie, like, with her ship and stuff, and she'd, like, make Bassie mad. And, like, that would fall into the trolling category because, like, she doesn't really mean it, but she's just saying that for the love of the game. And she'd get insta-banned for, like, rage bait. And she's just saying like, no, I'm being honest, it's not rage bait. But she's actually just rage baiting. Connie, same sort of thing. Maybe spamming, but I'm gonna say rage bait as well. She would definitely be like a troller. Like, for sure. Like, she'd be trolling all over the place. Like, she's met a troller. Actually, in the BlushCrunch Discord server, they talk about her, like, post-ban, like they talk about proximity chat. She's like the proximity chat of BlushCrunch server because she just keeps like coming back. You know what I mean? Like if she, you know what, she could be banned for everything, but I don't think she'd be very racist or anything like that. Cosmo, I think, you know, he'd get banned for like advertising. Like he like advertises like, you know, his baking website or something that no one cares about. And he'd be like, hey guys, I just made some new recipes on my baking website, come check it out. And he'd get banned instantly. Well, like, they're low-key banning him because he's a femboy, but like, that's not something they talk about. Moving on, Dandy. I think he'd get banned for, like, I don't know. That's a good one. I think he'd be pretty good, but I think he'd get banned for talking about drama. Like, he's so, like, teacher-pish that, like, he'd talk about a recent situation like Brightney here, and like he'd get banned for like, in quotes, dragging it on, even though the mods told them to cut it out, like what happened earlier in the server just to stop talking about it. But he doesn't, because he's so like, insistent on how good he's been. He's like, oh my gosh guys, I knew they should have been bad from the start. I'm Dandy. But he's cute, so he can get away with it. Next up, Dial. I think he'd get banned for being hateful. Or I think he'd tell Dandy to shut the fuck up because he doesn't like how teacher pettish he's being. Actually, you know what? I think he'd be bad for like hacking and scamming people and like doxing people. We get so pissed off with them. Excuse me. They would just like straight up just dox them. And that's probably what happened to Dandy. Like, Dial doxed Dandy and he got banned from BlushCrunch server for posting his email address. And his like home address is like phone number in the general chat just for no reason. Moving on to Clit, I think she'd be banned for spamming. Because she seems like the type of person who like types like her words in like one sentences only, you know what I mean? Like she goes like, hi, send, guys, send, how are, send, you doing, send. You know, she's just a very excited typer, and that has consequences. Basically, Eclipse, you're not allowed to have fun in the BlushCrunch server, at all. So you have to be banned for being yourself. Sorry, Eclipse. Eggson, I think he would be banned for inappropriate content. Because maybe one day in the BlushCrunch Discord server, he's like talking about his femboy days, and because the Dandy vote BlushCrunch server mods instantly flagged as like inappropriate. For the word femboy, he would be banned. He would be banned like instantly. Finn, rage bait. I mean, this is kind of a pun because of the bait in the thing. And, you know, he's like a fish bowl and, like, you know, fish get bait. Just look at him. Like, obviously he rage baits people. Have you seen his puns? They are terrible. I would just ban him for not being funny. You know what? He's going in hateful language because his jokes make me feel offended. Fuck Heathen. Moving on, Flutter, not speaking English. Maybe for not speaking at all, which is kind of rude, but I don't think the BlushCrunch mods care about that. So she's gonna be in there for not speaking English, because she only speaks in like question marks and like dots and exclamation points, and they'll just get mad at her like, dude, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Can you speak English, please? And she just doesn't comply, so they just ban her. It's a bit ruthless, to be honest. Like, I don't know why they do that. Moving on, Flight, I think he would be banned for like shipping something. Like, maybe Flight is like object him or something, and he wants to share his ship with that, but like, he gets flagged for like inappropriate ships when he tries to, and it's like really bad. It's like, hey guys, look at my objecting ship that I drew. And the BlushCrunch mod server thing, I don't know, I'm really losing my mind here, guys. The BlushCrunch mods go, hey, no, that's inappropriate, we hate you, Flight, because you're gay, and they ban him. GG? Rage bait. Similar to Connie, I feel like she's Connie's right-hand woman, but she doesn't do it as like bad as Connie. Like, Connie's proximity chat and like Gigi's whoever proximity chat has around him all the time. I forgot his name, but there's definitely a guy he'd like teams up with a lot. But yeah, they kind of go hand in hand with the trolling here. And I think maybe Bassie is lacking a confidence. You know, Connie's like the Tony Soprano of BlushCrunch rage bait. She has like this whole mafia gang going on, and everyone in this throws in the mafia. Ginger would be bad for venting, maybe because her vents are too graphic, because she'd start venting about how someone like took a bite out of her face, and the BlushCrunch mods would be like, that's really gory. That's crazy gory, you know? Moving on, Glisten. I think he'd be banned for like hateful language, because yes, people are probably using hateful language against him, but it's not like he isn't an angel himself, because he's like bullying people all the time because he thinks he's better than everyone else when he clearly isn't. Again, he could get banned for like talking about drama because, you know, he's like a gossip girl, but like mostly I think hateful language, so he's gonna stay in that row. Goob. I think he would get banned for like, I don't know, maybe spamming. Because, you know, like, he seems, similar to Eclipse, he seems like pretty excited. So I think he might, despite not having hands, you know what, here's why he'd get banned. You smack his face on like his keyboard, it's fine. And whenever he types, he just sends, and all he types is like, keyboard spam, because he can't really type properly. So that's what he has to consult to like, express his feelings. Moving on. Gordy, I think he would get banned for inappropriate content. Now, I didn't consider this factor here. Like, you can be banned in the BlushCrunch server for being like under 13, and that can be like considered, I guess, an inappropriate profile. Like, he doesn't do anything wrong, but they just find out he's like 10 years old and they ban him for being like underage on Discord, if you know what I mean. He hasn't done anything like inappropriate, but actually I'm going to put him for ban for everything, because I haven't considered the under 13 bit yet. So he's just going to be banned for like everything, and that's our excuse. He did everything in the book. Louis, I think he would get banned for like AI usage. Like he think he's being funny, and he sends like an AI gif in the general chat, and he gets like in a lot of trouble for that because it's an AI gif, and they don't find it very funny, so they just ban him. They want to argue with him. 2, he defends his case, and then 3, he gets banned for arguing with the mods and using AI. Moving on, Pebble, I think he'd get banned for like doxing someone. I don't know why. It just feels right, you know. Maybe he'd like scam people, like he'd be one of those scam bots that go into people's DMs and say, hey, I'm Neil Horan. Did you know I need $3 for this and that? And that's what he'd do. He'd go around and scam people as Neil Horan and ask for money. And someone would report him, and the BlushCrunch mods would find out and they'll ban his ass. Moving on, Poppy. Talking about drama. They're all like talking about the recent situation and they all get banned. Triple kill. Triple kill. They talk about the recent situation, like freaking Gordy and like Bassy and stuff. And they get triple kill banned. Razzle and Dazzle, banned for everything. I'm saying this because they are two different people, but like maybe Razzle kept like spamming or like advertising that like little ads thing. Or maybe he sent like something inappropriate and like Dazzle kept like rage baiting people or like venting or like, you know, talking about drama, and they just had to get banned from the tree, like half the rules in the server. So yeah, Rebecca, I feel like she would be banned. Inappropriate content. Maybe she's a big horror fan, you know. Maybe she watches like horror movies, and you know, she decides to set her profile as like one of the scenes in Elm Street, specifically like one of the dream scenes, and it's like very gory. I feel like she'd be banned for like the CGI gore on her profile. Cause I know it's CGI, but it's like, it's too real. That can still like really scare somebody. Roger, he would be banned for like advertising his detective services. I like keeping like mainly talking about drama, but I feel like mainly advertising because he doesn't discuss it. I feel like he DM people directly about like specific cases. So yeah, you know, Rudy, he sends those like AI Christmas gift videos, if you know what I mean. And like maybe he asks people for their email so you can send them to them. But I'm gonna say AI usage mainly. Scrap? I feel like she's a Fujoshi, and she'd make up some like Hetalia shit, and she'd send it. But here's what she'd do. She'd make like a Hetalia AU of like all the Dandy Squad characters, and she'd like make some like self-insert or like OC for it, and she'd ship herself with like one of the Hetalia AU Toons, and she'd get banned for that. That's what would happen to freaking Scraps. Shelly, venting, because she probably vents about how nobody likes her at all, which yeah, that checks out, because she just got banned for venting. Imagine that, right? Imagine venting about how nobody likes you and how you think you're like a burden or something, and you just get straight up banned. I would never. I would actually delete my Discord account, if I'm being straight honest with you. Shrimpo banned for everything. This guy's the most hateful guy on earth. He'd find a way to break all the rules. Actually, he would learn like French just to break this rule. Maybe he starts speaking you like Morse code just to piss the mods off. Like, this dude really doesn't stop at anything. Sylvester, you know, maybe he'd like spam. He'd send like walls of text. Not on purpose, but like because he's like a knight or something, he just talks like that. So each like sentence to him is like a whole ass paragraph. And he's like, "Hello, thigh peasants," something like that. I don't know. I wasn't gonna finish that sentence. I ran out of things to say. I'm not very Victorian, if you know what I mean. So Sprout, low key, they just banned him because he's Sprout. Because his profile says Sprout, that's inappropriate enough. I don't want to see that. I hate Sprout. Tegan, Tegan would get banned for like, maybe she'd get banned for talking about trauma, because like the rest of these guys, she seems like a bit of a gossip girl. But in like the fancy tea time way, if you know what I mean. Like she talks about like, "Oh ho ho, did you hear what Miss whatever, did you hear what Miss Ginger got banned for? Oh ho ho." Like she's sitting at a table with like a teacup china thing, and you know, she's like gossiping really fancy style, where she gets banned for it. She'd get banned for like parking or like stoxing. She'd be all up in her head about like, you know, wanting to be mod. She'd be like so good girlish about it. Like she'd try to get a mod position, and she just gets so angry with someone one day that she just ends up doxing them like out of habit, where she gets banned and loses all of her chances of becoming a mod like ever. Toodles, same reason as Gordy probably, but I feel like she would get banned for like doxing as well. They would never find out how old she truly is because she like lies about it. She like say she's like 16 or something just to get into the server, and then she'd like go around scamming people well, like, doxing them just to be funny. And, like, maybe Roger's trying to do a detective case on this, but he doesn't know that it's actually Toodles, so he has to go through all the Toons to figure out who did what, who's this person doxing, scamming people with all that money, and Toodles is like millions rich, and he doesn't know who's still doing it. The, hateful language, like, she'd get Loki so heated about, like, her game show, and then, like, Loki talk about it, like, Glisten and B, and she'd just, like, he say something really crazy and get banned for it. That's my theory. Get her banned for everything, somehow. Like, she just says everything so discernibly, like, I don't know the word, something so crazy bad, that she just have to get banned for everything. Not on purpose, just cause she's like that in general. Okay, that was a big one, that was a lot to go through. But you know what, I'm kinda glad we did, because this is quite the list. I think this has been our biggest list so far. So thank you for watching video. I'm glad you stuck around this long. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Probably quite long. Yeah, thank you for sticking around. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna be uploading more videos soon. Not soon, well, I can't upload for like the next week because I pissed Satan off, so I have to go to hell and, like, you know, plead my innocence again. But yeah, I'll see you guys probably in the next week. I'm gonna have another banger, which I'm unfortunately going to upload. Okay, love yourself. Peace.